Here's a quick recipe to give you an idea of what Wet is all about. Start off with a brash, sexy lady assassin. Give her the time-slowing, gun-slinging abilities of Max Payne and the agility of the Prince of Persia. Sprinkle liberally with points and multipliers, and immerse the whole thing in a steaming vat of Grindhouse. And there you have it. Wet takes its inspiration from a number of familiar places, and there are times when you might think, well, such and such a game really did this better. While there is some roughness around the edges, you probably won't be too bothered by it because you'll be too busy having a whole lot of fun. Whether you're running along a wall and shooting bullets through brain cases, or kicking off an enemy only to plunge back down at him with your sword, Wet will keep you entertained with its gleefully bloody combat. Between the brutal action, the high-flying acrobatics, the seedy plot, and a few big-ticket sequences, Wet barrels over its own speed bumps at such a rollicking good pace that you can't help but have a riotously good time. Her name is Ruby Malone, and she is one chick you do not want to cross. Ruby is agile and deadly, and Wet introduces you to her moveset at a well-measured pace. You start out jumping and sliding, then work your way up to wall running, hole swinging, and a host of other acrobatic maneuvers. You'll use these to traverse a variety of gritty environments as you work your way through the underworld to get at the guys who wronged you. And for the most part, navigating is straightforward and doable. Holding the left trigger will highlight areas where Ruby can grab or run, and this is generally enough to get you on your way. There are some parts when jumps seem a little too tough, or when a certain action is required but it's unclear exactly what you need to do. You'll probably die a bunch at these parts and get tired of the loading screen and Ruby's ugly death grunts. But before too long, you'll be shooting someone in the face and your mood will undoubtedly improve. Ruby can run and gun fairly well, but it's much more entertaining and rewarding to gun while doing something besides running. If you start shooting while doing anything remotely acrobatic, time will slow down and you get much deadlier. Ruby always dual wields her guns, and when you enter this slowdown phase, one of the guns automatically targets a nearby enemy. You then aim the other one to take down the targeted enemy faster, or, better yet, take down another foe or two, or three. Ruby is such a prolific killer that you'll be laying out dozens of enemies and barely breaking a sweat. The combination of auto-targeting, free aiming, and slow motion works really well, and allows you to be deliciously deadly. It's really a lot of fun, whether you're chaining together great moves, like running along a wall, jumping into the air, and landing in a slide, or performing specific actions, like sliding down a ladder upside down, shooting the entire time. The more enemies you dispatch, the higher Ruby's multiplier will go. Each enemy you kill earns you points, which are used to purchase upgrades. These include boosts to weapon damage, clip size, and fire rate, as well as new abilities for Ruby, like shooting while swinging around a pole. Keeping your multiplier up for long is tough, but as it dwindles, it replenishes your health, so it's not a total loss. Where multipliers really shine, and where they are most important, is in arenas. These are contained areas that you'll encounter a few times in each level. Ruby will enter these areas and be trapped until she kills everyone and shuts down all the enemy spawn points. These arenas are specifically designed with intense carnage in mind, and the environments reflect that. They are packed with elements that cater to Ruby's acrobatic abilities, so you can swing, flip, run, and dive around easily as you rack up the kills. Power-ups help keep your multiplier high, making each kill count that much more. Your performance is graded at the end, and you are rewarded appropriately. These are some of the most entertaining parts of the game, and though there are some action sequences that are much more dramatic, arenas do the best job of highlighting Ruby's deadly talents. There are less subtle sequences in which Ruby just flips out and everything turns red. These raging sections are a nice aesthetic break and help freshen up the pace of the game, but they aren't as engaging as the arena sections. There are also challenge courses that take place around Ruby's junkyard home. These put your shooting and maneuvering skills to the test in a less bloody fashion. They are enjoyable and challenging, though after a few times through, you'll miss the lively banter between Ruby and the goons she indiscriminately murders. Not to say that this banter is particularly good. Some of the things they say are stupid, and the voice acting isn't stellar, but the rude quips and abundant profanities help create an enjoyably vulgar attitude. This attitude is in keeping with the gritty grindhouse aesthetic, which manifests itself prominently throughout the game as a grainy filter over the action, which you can turn off, and with amusingly antiquated advertisements from drive-in theaters. The plot is a serviceably violent romp through the underworld, and though some of the character models look a bit rough around the edges, the brutal flourishes of certain cutscenes are grisly and satisfying. The game rarely ever flinches away from brutality, and you'll be reminded of that every time you fail a prompted button press. Wet isn't a particularly pretty game, and a certain awkwardness does creep into the acrobatic action from time to time. But what Wet lacks in refinement, it more than makes up for in attitude and action. It's a very well-paced, very violent, and very fun romp that will make you cackle with glee at your own death-dealing abilities.